Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Boston Red Sox versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left is the left fielder stud, Jarren Duran. And on the right, the best catcher in baseball, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Boston Red Sox. Leading off for the Red Sox in left field, Jarren Duran. Batting second, playing first base, Abraham Toro. Batting third, playing right field, Roman Anthony. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, DHing today for the Red Sox, Romy Gonzalez. Batting fifth, playing third base, Marcelo Mayer. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Trevor Story. Batting seventh, playing second base, David Hamilton. Batting eighth, playing center field, Christian Campbell. And batting ninth, catching today for the Red Sox, Connor Wong. And on the mound for the Red Sox, their ace, 6-4 record with an ERA of 2.24. It is Garrett Crochet. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, Dylan Moore. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, DHing today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing second base today, Jorge Polanco. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, catching today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting seventh, playing first base, Donovan Solano. Batting eighth, playing third base for Seattle, Ben Williamson. And batting ninth, playing right field this afternoon, Miles Mastroboni. And on the mound for the Mariners, La Piedra, 4-4 record, 3.29 ERA. It is Luis Castillo. Let's go, baby. And Luis has given up 5 homers in his last 2 starts, so hopefully the homers will be a minimum here today. And again, a great pitching matchup. Last time we faced Crochet in Boston at the beginning of the year, we ended up beating him and getting him out in the 5th. So hopefully we can score 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's the magic number to win today. And hopefully we can get 1 to 3 runs on Crochet between the 1st and 5th inning. And if we can do that, that should give us a good chance to compete late in the matchup. Let's get the W. Let's go M's all day in the building. What's good? And we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 or more, by the time the stream is done, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. And giving JP Crawford a day off and having Dylan Moore lead off is a little questionable. At the last 23, 24 at-bats, he hasn't really gotten hits. Really, the only thing productive Dylan has gotten is walked a couple times, but a lot of strikeouts. So this is the Soto Mojo and kind of the chaos ball that we play. So does that mean Dylan is going to go 2 for 4 today since he's in the starting lineup? I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't go 0 for 5. But again, you want to make sure you set the tone early and often. I don't know if I would have had Dylan Moore lead off. I think I would have been probably better off, even though Julio has been struggling a little bit. Julio leading off would probably make a little bit more sense in this lineup, but hopefully we get some good production from Dylan, Julio, Cal, and Jorge at the beginning of the lineup, and at the bottom end of the lineup, Randy, Mitch, Donovan, Ben, and Miles. Definitely our weakest lineup that we put together in a few weeks. But that doesn't mean that we can't overachieve today and end up winning the series. We won 2 out of 3 in Boston, won the series in Boston for the first time in 10, 11 years, at the beginning of the year. And now we're trying to win the series 2 out of 3 with La Piedra on the mound. All right, let's go, Luis. We need you, baby. 14 starts, 4-4 record, ERA of 3.29, 67 Ks to 26 walks, and a whip of 1.27. But again, has given up 5 homers in the last 2 starts. We can't have him, give up big 2-run jacks, grand salamis like Cal had last night, or 3-run jacks. But if he ends up giving up a couple solo dingers, we can still recover from that. First pitch from Luis Castillo to Jarren Duran. Takes a strike looking outside. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off high and away. Behind in the count 0-2 to Jarren Duran. Let's go, Castillo. Top of the first. 0-0. Luis Castillo on the mound. Jarren Duran in the box. Let's go, baby. 0-2 pitch. High and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour to Jarren Duran. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Luis Castillo. 1-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss, and Luis Castillo punches out Jarren Duran. Way to bring the electricity early, and hopefully Luis will be able to get 8 to 10 Ks today to give us a shot and go 6 solid innings here against the Boston Red Sox. Nice job, Luis Castillo. First batter, first punch out. We love it. Next up, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman Abraham Toro. First pitch from Castillo right down the middle. Takes a strike looking with that sinker, 96 miles an hour by Castillo. 0-1 count. Let's go, Luis. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Low and in the zone with the changeup, 88 miles an hour. And a key for both of these pitchers, Crochet and Castillo, is first pitch strikes and getting ahead of the count. And if you can get that first pitch strike looking or swinging and they foul off that second pitch like you've had here, within the first 2 batters, it gives you a much better chance of punching out that individual or getting a pop-up or a ground out instead of going in a 2-0 count and that leading to a single, double, triple home run or something of that nature. Popped up and down goes Abraham Toro on the 0-2 pitch. We'll take that 2 away. Great start here by Luis Castillo. Next up, right fielder Roman Anthony. First game in the series here in Seattle. He ended up hitting his first home run in his MLB career off Logan Gilbert, and we'll see what he has here today. First pitch, inside out the knees with the sinker, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle, behind in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Roman Anthony in the box. Yeah, well, you got to give, certain guys days off, at some point. And, it's not like Julio, JP, or Cal are going to have that many, maybe once a month or once every month and a half. They're really going to try to stretch those guys playing as much as possible. I definitely feel we would have had a much better chance of winning today with JP in the lineup, and I wouldn't have put Dylan Moore as the leadoff hitter. I would have put Julio in this situation. And Castillo hits Anthony there, and he walks to first. Hopefully he's okay. And we don't want to have too many plunks, and we don't want to be walking too many guys. And we also don't want Castillo to give up, 5 homers. Obviously, he gave up 5 in the last 2 starts. And again, if they, end up being 2 solo jacks and we're down 2-0, we can recover from that, but not going to recover if someone hits a 3-run jack and a 2-run jack, then we're going to lose. So hopefully we can get it done here. Next up for the Red Sox in the 4-hole, DHing Romy Gonzalez. Top of the first, this is a global broadcast on MLB Network. First game of the Wednesday slate, and hopefully we can end up winning the series here today. Mariners have a day off tomorrow, and then we're going to be live every single day for about 2 weeks straight. And Gonzalez grounded out to the fielder's choice to the shortstop, throw to first, and there we go. Nice job there by Demo, and we get out of the inning unscathed, even though Castillo ended up plunking Roman Anthony. Nice job by Luis Castillo, not giving up any RBIs or home runs early on. Nice job, La Piedra. All right, here we go. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop in his last 24 at-bats, the best that he's had is a couple walks. Lots of strikeouts, a lot of pop-up and ground-outs, but strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. Not really sure what the idea is of starting Dylan Moore, and not only that, having him lead off. But again, he's been in a slump as a part-time player, playing obviously the whole game for the most part, unless they have someone pinch hit for him late like JP. Hopefully he can end up getting a hit or 2. Leading off, shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second, another guy that's been struggling as of late, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. I still believe in you. And batting third, the best catcher in baseball, hit a grand salami, had 6 RBIs, tied a career high. This is the best catcher in baseball, period. Will Smith is great for the Dodgers, but he is no Cal Raleigh. DHing here in the 3-hole, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. And maybe we can get a little bit of magic here today as well. Let's go, Cal. Let's get it done. And then on the mound for the Red Sox, it's their ace from the White Sox in the offseason. 6-4 record, ERA of 2.24. Kind of like Brian Wu, you would like that win-loss record to be a little bit better. Crochet is definitely good enough to be 7-3 or 8-2, but the lack of run support or a shaky start, like when he lost to the Mariners early on, we'll see what we get out of Garrett Crochet. First pitch. Demo takes a strike swinging, no surprise there, behind in the count 0-1. And hopefully Demo can get walked once or twice and get at least a hit, in 4, plate attempts. I'm not sure if he's going to end up playing the whole game. If JP is resting, but they let him come in and pinch hit late, that could maybe be the difference. But I wouldn't expect a whole lot out of Demo here today, but I'm just fingers crossed, hoping that he can get at least a hit and get walked once. So he'll be on base twice out of maybe 4 attempts. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike swinging, big swing and a miss, right down the middle, behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan Moore. 1-2 pitch, high and away with a 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Garrett Crochet. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dylan Moore. 2-2 pitch, tries to jam the hitter inside, and that does not work. Count now a full 3 balls and 2 strikes from Crochet to Demo, and if Demo can just, take a step back and not be so overly aggressive, and he can get a couple walks and then steal second, that's going to be better than him just swinging wildly like Julio and then getting out in 3 pitches like he was in the past, or even getting out in a situation like this. 3-2 pitch, and he gets punched out looking. Down goes Demo, 1 away. Well, there was his first opportunity there. He tried to force the walk by not swinging, and it didn't work. Down goes Demo. Nice punch out there by Crochet. Next up is center fielder Julio Rodriguez, and especially with no JP initially playing in this game, that means that Julio is going to have to step up even more in the matchup, and hopefully Julio can go 2 for 4 today or 3 for 5. First pitch, takes a strike looking, high and in the zone from Crochet, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the cutter, 1 ball and 1 strike from Crochet to Julio. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need that electricity. Cal single-handedly won the game for us yesterday. But again, you've been pretty cold for the last few weeks. And again, you've been able to get a single here and a single there. But again, we need a little bit more out of your bat. Defensively, you're a gem, but it's just about being patient in the box. More singles, more doubles, more triples, and more home runs. Less strikeouts if possible. And as soon as I say that, what does he do? Strikeout swinging, and that is 2 away. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. All right, let's go, Cal. Grand salami yesterday. What can you say about a guy like this? 258 average, 10 homers, obviously, as of late. But again, he's been cranking them out. And again, just getting close to approaching that 30 home run number. Number 1 in MLB in homers. We know Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are close on his heels. But it feels good to have someone as good as Cal on the roster. First pitch in play. There we go, Cal. Go, go, go. And there we go. The hottest player on the Seattle Mariners doubles to left. Nice job by Big Dumper. And this is a guy that we can count on. I wish we could say the same thing for this player, but right now, this is the guy that we trust the most. Nice job, Big Dumper. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. First pitch, takes a strike swinging high and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Garrett Crochet. 0-1 count. And we definitely have to try to rough up Crochet early and often. Again, hopefully we can get 1 to 3 runs within the first 5 innings to maybe have a chance to get him out, before the standard 6-inning outing. Let them know. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 likes within the first hour. 0-1 pitch in play. Polo flies out to right, and we leave Cal Raleigh stranded. And let's go to the top of the second. We're still knotted up at 0. But again, we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Dave in the building. What's good? Definitely going to be a pitching matchup like Giolito that we had in Game 1 against Logan Gilbert. But hopefully we can still pump out 4 to 5 runs here today to get the victory in the series. Next up, for the Red Sox here in the top of the second, third baseman Marcelo Mayer. Batting second, playing shortstop in the 6th hole, Trevor Story. And batting third, second baseman David Hamilton. On the mound for the Mariners, 4-4 record, ERA of 3.29, Luis Castillo. Let's go, La Piedra. We need all the good luck charms that we can get, baby. Let's go. We finally ended up having a little bit of a cool down with a little bit of rain here in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon, as well as Washington. And again, we had a little bit of a heat wave for about 5 to 10 days, and that ended a couple days ago, and definitely feels a little bit more comfortable here today. First pitch to Mayer. Back. See ya! Solo jack, 379 feet by Marcelo Mayer. And this has been an issue for Luis Castillo. That's now 6 home runs in the last 3 games. He gave up 5 within the last 2 starts. And again, an issue for Luis, trying to throw right down the middle. And again, you get someone that connects. That's going to bring electricity to the other team. And nice solo dinger there by Marcelo Mayer, 1-0 Red Sox. Next up, shortstop, Trevor Story. And again, I was kind of anticipating Castillo giving up 1 or 2 homers, and I was hoping that it would come later in the game, but sometimes they do end up showing up a little early. And again, we're down 1-0. We can only afford him to give up one more solo jack, and that's it. As long as it is that, we'll be fine. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, behind in the count 0-2 from Castillo to Story. And also, we're going against Garrett Crochet. We have our weakest lineup, from top to bottom, probably in the last, 2 to 3 weeks. So not really ideal, lineup overall to try to beat a guy of Crochet and that kind of caliber of pitcher. But again, anything is possible once the starters go out. Hopefully they have a couple guys that are a little shaky, like our bullpen. And if we can take advantage, whoever's bullpen is stronger is going to win the game. 0-2 pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, tries to paint the corner, and Castillo misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trevor Story. 1-2 pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Trevor Story in the box, Luis Castillo on the mound. 2-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss. Down goes Trevor Story. Another punch out there by Luis Castillo. Keep bringing that electricity. Don't lose your confidence after giving up that homer. 1 away. Next up is second baseman David Hamilton. Let's go, La Piedra. Settle down. First pitch to Hamilton. Paints the corner low and at the knees. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Hamilton pops it up and goes all the way into right field. Excuse me. 2 away. Nice catch out there by Miles Mastrobuoni in right field. Nice little fly out. Next up for the Red Sox in the 8-hole, playing center field today, Christian Campbell. First pitch, right down the middle, takes a strike looking with a sinker, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking in the zone, behind in the count 0-2 from Luis Castillo. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the slider, 84 miles an hour to Christian Campbell. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Campbell in the box. Let's go, Luis, settle down. And Campbell strikes out swinging. Another punch out there by La Piedra. So again, it's one of those things. He's going to end up getting those Ks, but no one is going to be surprised by 95 miles an hour right down the middle, and that's why he's given up 6 home runs in the last 3 starts. But most of them have been solo dingers, thankfully, and another solo dinger obviously here today to Marcelo Mayer. But again, we can come back from 1-0, 2-0. If they end up being grand salamis like Cal yesterday, or 2-run jacks or 3-run jacks, a lot harder to come back, not only on the scoreboard but mentally to recover from that based off Luis Castillo's past history. All right, baby, nice job with the punch outs. Unfortunate that you gave up that one right down the middle to Mayer, but again, that's what you end up getting if you go 95 right down the middle. You're not surprising anybody in the big leagues with that. Next up for the Mariners here in the bottom of the second, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. We need you, baby, especially with no JP in the lineup. Batting second in the 6th hole, catching today, Mitch Garver. Obviously, one of the worst players on the team with Donovan Solano, who's up after him, as well as Trent Thornton. But in a game like this, you never know. Sometimes guys that are absolutely terrible will find a way to actually be somewhat decent, and we have to hope that Garver can get 1 hit and get walked at least once. And the same thing goes for hitter number 3 in this inning in the 7-hole, filling in for Rowdy Tellez, Donovan Solano. Obviously, these guys are playing because we have a lefty pitcher with Crochet on the mound. Solano has been much better than Garver, but at the beginning of the year, he started 4 for 40, only batting 100, but is good for a hit, per game lately. And maybe he'll end up getting walked as well, so we can get two guys, with opportunities in the matchup rather than Garver and Solano both going 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. I mean, we already got Dylan Moore at the top of the lineup, so you got to think. Demo might go 0 for 4, 0 for 5. Garver could easily go 0 for 4, 0 for 5. Same thing with Solano. You don't want to have 1/3 of your lineup, 3 out of 9 guys, absolutely doing nothing. So hopefully, we can get at least 2 out of the 3 guys between Dylan Moore, Mitch Garver, and Donovan Solano to surprise us. Because, again, with Crochet on the mound, we're going to need it. First pitch to Randy Arozarena. And go, Randy, go. Nice. There we go, baby. Nice double for Randy Arozarena on Garrett Crochet. I thought that had a chance to go a yard when he initially hit it, but it falls deep into left field, and we'll take an opening double by Randy. All right, here we go. You already got a great opportunity. You got Randy at second. I mean, even if you pop up deep and he's able to tag up and go to third, I don't think Mitchell will bunt at all, but hopefully it's not a strikeout looking or swinging. Next up is Mitch Garver. 1-0 pitch. That is fouled off with the cutter there by Mitch Garver. 1 ball and 1 strike from Crochet to Garver. There we go. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you. We're at 10 more to go within the first 34 minutes here. 26 minutes in, 34 to go for the first hour. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Crochet to Garver. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Boston. Runner at second with no outs. Crochet on the mound. Mitch Garver in the box. Let's go, Mitch. Find a way, dig deep. And again, Garrett Crochet, 6-4 record, 2.24 ERA, stud pitcher for the White Sox last year. Red Sox scooped him up, just like they did with the Astros' Alex Bregman. They lost Devers a couple days ago, but again, still a decent team in the American League. 2-1 pitch, high and away. Misses the strike zone there by about 5 feet. 3-1 pitch, fouled off at the hips. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and no outs. 1-0 Red Sox lead. Yeah, Yankees and Astros are always going to be, the cream of the crop until some other teams tell them otherwise. So we'll definitely see how it ends up, playing out. But I'm hoping that the Mariners can join the Stros in the playoffs this year. We know the Yankees are in. And then obviously with the Tigers, Guardians, and Twins, all those teams are solid. But Detroit, obviously the best team out of those 3 this year. And again, it's going to be hard to keep up with the Tigers, Yankees, and Astros, but there'll be a few teams, including the Mariners, that'll do their very best. 3-2 pitch, and Garver flies out to center. Randy tags up, though. It's deep enough to third. There you go. Nice job, Mitch. And again, even though you ended up getting out, at least it wasn't a strikeout looking or swinging, and you were able to get Randy to tag up from second to third. Nice job. Randy at third with 1 out, and now we got Donovan Solano, who normally, early in the year was the worst player on the team with Mitch Garver and Trent Thornton. But again, Donovan Solano, I do believe he could, end up getting an RBI single here. It wouldn't shock me. First pitch, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Or even if he gets on with a walk. 0-1 pitch, low and away, tries to paint the corner, Crochet, and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at third and 1 out. If Donovan Solano was good enough to be able to bunt and get a guy on. And there's a wild pitch. Go, Randy, go, Randy. Yes, and there we go. A wild pitch by Garrett Crochet, just like Gabe Spire had a couple days ago, and that brings Randy home. Thank God for Mitch Garver with that deep ball for Randy to tag up from second to third and to go from third to home. Nice job. We don't even need Donovan to be able to get a hit at this point, But again, it would be nice for his batting average and his overall, just confidence in his abilities. Nice job. 1-1 Mariners. We'll take that. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Donovan Solano. Let's go, Donovan. It's crazy to think that I have more confidence in Donovan Solano than Mitch Garver or Dylan Moore. And Dylan Moore, had 6, 7, 8 homers early in the season, but hasn't done anything as of late. 2-2 pitch in play. And look at that. My ESP is on point early. What did I say? I said, hey, I think there's a good chance Solano could get a hit or an RBI if Randy was still on board. And look at that. Donovan Solano with a single. Sometimes I just have these gut feelings about players. And again, Solano has been much better than he was at the beginning of the year. He's more trustworthy than Garver and Dylan Moore, and maybe even a couple other guys. Next up is third baseman Ben Williamson. Nice job, Donovan. I like seeing fucking shitty players do good. Nice job. And again, even if there wasn't a wild pitch, that would have turned into an RBI single by Donovan Solano. So great to be able to see one of our bottom 3 players overall, start to get a little bit better as the season is going on. 0-1 pitch, fouls that one off by Big Ben Williamson. Behind in the count now 0-2 to Garrett Crochet. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Big Ben. Let's go. Bottom of the second, 1-1. Tie on MLB Network, a global broadcast. Donovan Solano with a single. And again, sometimes when you have players that most people don't have confidence in, you just have to be able to read the matchup. And obviously Crochet is a great lefty, but we should be able to get some damage on him within the first 5 innings. 0-2 pitch. Inside with the sweeper at the hips. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Crochet on the mound and Ben Williamson in the box. Let's go, Ben. Appreciate you all day. And again, you know exactly what needs to be done, without me even telling you. And again, that's really what I'm looking for in people that are supporting the channel and doing things the right way. And, again, Captain usually will be here and whatnot. But again, I really do appreciate, those individuals that know how to read the room and can get the job done without even being asked. And there we go. Williamson with a single to right, Solano to second. It wasn't a double there, JJK, but close. And we end up continuing the rally. Nice job by Donovan Solano. Nice job by Ben Williamson. And now at the end of the lineup, a guy that was the most productive for not an everyday player, Miles Mastrobuoni. And hopefully Miles can get a single here. And if it ends up being an RBI single, we could have guys at first and third. We'll see where it goes, or maybe first and second, or it might be something even more magical than that. Not a home run hitter, so again, even if it's just a single and we have bases loaded, I think that we would take that, even though Dylan Moore has not been very productive, as his playing time has been reduced quite a bit. 1-0 pitch inside, big swing and a miss by Mastrobuoni. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second. Come on, Miles. Let's see if we can get an RBI single or just a single or double. You get an RBI double here, it could score 2 or maybe even 1 at the very least. But let's see if we can get as much as we possibly can on Crochet. And we did this to him in Boston, where we actually got him to exit, in the 5th inning. And we ended up winning that game, I believe, 4-3. So, again, we want to make sure that we respect Crochet, but also understand that we can win this game even with our worst lineup in 3 weeks. That's where the Mariners are going. We were getting our ass kicked, for about a month and a half. We swept the Guardians, and we're on the peak and the brink, if we can win this game, of winning this series against the Red Sox. And then we have the day off tomorrow, and then we go on the road to the Cubbies, which is going to be really fun, but could be scary. Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, is a G, and it won't be easy. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Crochet to Mastroboni. Let's go, Miles. You can do it, baby. And again, the guys that really have been leading the charge, when we were struggling were, JP, Julio, Cal, and Mastroboni. Now Julio has to take a little bit of a step back as that one is fouled off with the cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. No one would expect Mastroboni to get a 3-run homer here to make it 4-1. He's a singles hitter like Solano, Williamson, and Cole Young. But again, they can get doubles and an occasional triple if they're lucky. But again, at this point, homers probably are out of the question. But if we can end up getting an RBI here, before the inning ends to get it at least to 2, that will give us much better shot to compete as the matchup continues. Captain in the building, what's good? Yeah, this would be a good at-bat to bunt if it was available there. And fielder's choice to second, Williamson out at second, Solano to third. Now we got runners on the corners at first and third, which essentially could have been, if we would have bunted there as well. We don't bunt anymore for whatever reason. And next up, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop Dylan Moore. And again, hasn't been very good, in his last 24, 25, 26 at-bats. The most that he's been able to really do is get walked a couple times. And he's had a shitload of strikeouts, like 15 to 20 Ks, and again, Dylan Moore being an everyday player compared to being a player that plays only every 3, 4, 5 games has wore on him. Had 8 homers early in the season when Polo was hot as well in April, but hasn't done anything for us in like a month and a half. So I don't know what to expect out of Demo, but hopefully we can get at least something out of him. 1-0 pitch, fouled off high and inside with the cutter. 90 miles an hour by Crochet. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners on the corners with 2 outs. And even if Dylan Moore just gets an RBI single right here and then the inning ends up being over and we end up going up 2-1, that's a success. Again, we need something positive. Him getting plunked, him getting walked. I don't know if he'll be able to get any hits today, but, hopefully he can find a way to get on base for that next guy. And obviously Julio being in the 2, he hasn't been that consistent either, but, something's got to give against Crochet today. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Crochet to Demo. Let's go, Demo. We need you to pull that rabbit out of the hat. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. No one expects you to homer. That probably would be the most, crazy thing ever, is that if he ended up getting a 3-run homer here, and if he does that, we win. 4-1, we're not looking back. But again, for a guy that has been ice cold for like 2 months, that might be the least likely thing that happens. But again, it's baseball, right? So anything is possible on any given day. But I don't think he'll homer here. Pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners on first and third and 2 outs. And again, these type of situations is why, we wish we had JP in the lineup right now, because JP could end up getting a single, double, triple, or a 3-run jack. With Dylan Moore, definitely the percentages go down quite a bit. And I think I would have rather had Julio lead off in this lineup. And if you were going to have Dylan Moore play, you could put him at the 2-hole, or you could have switched him and put him at the 8-hole and put Ben Williamson at the 2. Again, you can always move guys around. And again, the Mariners are kind of stuck in their ways with certain guys. But I think having Ben Williamson in the 2-hole, Julio leading off would have been better. And don't expect a whole lot here. And Demo strikes out swinging. Again, when you just know baseball and you've been watching guys, it could have been bases loaded, no outs, and Dylan wouldn't have gotten anything. Don't really know why he's playing. I know Luke Raley hit a homer yesterday for the Tacoma Rainiers. So if we can end up getting someone that actually can fucking play, in the lineup, hell, even Leo Rivas that we sent down to AAA could be better than Dylan Moore. And it really does show you, if you don't get a chance to play and you start losing confidence in yourself, then even the best situations, you're not able to capitalize. But at least we end up getting the wild pitch by Crochet. Randy ended up getting to third from a pop-up fly out by Mitch Garver to get the runner to go from second to third in that tag-up attempt. And the same thing that happened with Gabe Spire throwing the wild pitch, a runner scoring from third. Same thing happened here. And again, it might be a cheap, one run that the Mariners got off a wild pitch, but fuck it. We're going to take it. We're going to have to take anything that we can fucking get against a guy as good as Garrett Crochet. End of the second inning, 1-1, Red Sox and Mariners. Next up for the Red Sox in the 9-hole, catcher Connor Wong. Batting second, left fielder Jarren Duran, 0 for 1 with a K. And batting third, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, 0 for 1, Abraham Toro. Tight ends up. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, we miss Robles a lot. Wish he was there. And again, we need Luke Raley back. And, Dylan shouldn't even be playing. I'm not saying that he needs to go to AAA, but again, I would rather have Harry Ford and even Tyler Locklear over Dylan Moore at this point. Even bringing Leo Rivas back would give us a better chance for hits and defense. But, you only have so many spots on a team roster. And again, I'm not sure if Dylan will be able to turn it around, especially if he ends up being a part-time player the rest of the year. But, it's crazy to think that you got more trust in Donovan Solano than Garver and Dylan Moore, but that's where we're at right now. First pitch by Luis Castillo to Connor Wong, inside at the hips with the sinker, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Should have been called ball, but called strike. Bad call by that ump, and he's definitely been generous with the strike zone today for both teams. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Wong. Michael in the building, what's good? 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Wong. In play on the 2-1 pitch, and Wong singles the center. And that's rare. This is not an everyday player, and the last thing that we need is to be giving up hits to a 9-hole hitter that doesn't play every day. Next up, left fielder Jarren Duran. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle, and we need a double play right here. Slow dribbler up to Dylan Moore or Jorge Polanco, and a throw to Donovan Solano to get 2 away. Let's get it right here. In play. And of course, we don't get the slow dribbler, but we do get the fouled out to left. Jarren Duran a little overly aggressive there like Julio, and we make him pay. 1 away. All right, here, double play by Abraham Toro, end of inning. Let's get it right here with Toro. Toro's 0 for 1, kind of known for slow dribblers up the middle. And let's see if we can get a nice slow dribbler right up the middle to get a nice double play here. Castillo on the mound, Toro in the box, the former Seattle Mariner. First pitch takes a strike looking right down the middle with the sinker. 94 miles an hour by Castillo, 0-1 count. And really, it's going to be very important for both pitchers, Castillo and Garrett Crochet, to get first pitch strikes. The more first pitch strikes they get, the better chance they have for the punch out or an easy out at the at-bat. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Misses the plate there by about 5 feet. Sinker, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first. With 1 out, we're knotted up at 1 in the top of the 3rd. Global broadcast here on MLB Network. In play, fielder's choice. Wong is out at second. 2 away. Next up, right fielder, Roman Anthony. And then again, we'll take anything that we can get here. A fielder's choice, pop-up, ground out, strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. And we just want to keep it at 1-1 for as long as we can before we end up getting run number 2. First pitch from Castillo to Anthony, takes the strike looking, 0-1 count. And Anthony grounded out to second. There we go, baby. I like that. Go to the bottom of the third inning, 1-1 Mariners. All day, you've done a good job, and I always, recognize people. It's not necessarily the people that are going to be donating the most to the channel that are going to be mods on the channel. It also, helps when you get people that are consistent, that are here, every day or almost every day, when they can actually help promote, the channel with the likes and the subs and the views and the donos. Congratulations. We have a new mod to the channel. All day, you have earned it. We need one more like to get to 20. We got 14 minutes before we have the first hour. We got 49 in the building. The goal is to get 50 likes or more on every stream. So if you are in the building and you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We just hit 20. We hit the goal. Now we need 30 more before the stream ends, and we'll hit that number. Let's go. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off by Julio Rodriguez. Inside and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Crochet to Julio. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you. Bottom of the third, 1-1 with no outs and nobody on. Crochet on the mound. Julio in the box. Fouls that one off. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. And we would love for this to happen because we haven't seen this tridents up in quite some time. Let's go, J-Rod. I mean, hell, at this point, we'll take anything. Singles, doubles, triples, homers. Just anything besides strikeout looking, strikeout swinging, or this retarded, shitty, first pitch pop-up bullshit, or, this fucking stupid slow dribbler off the first pitch and then the inning is over. Like, we need Julio to grind out the at-bats. And, I'm sick and tired of seeing him get out in the first 2 pitches and then, kind of waste opportunities. We need him to be, elite. And hopefully we can end up getting that here today. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Crochet to Julio. All good, brother. Jordan in the building. What's good? And Julio grounds out to second. Throw to first. 1 away. Next up, the best player on the Mariners. And again, he is going to be in Mount Rushmore with guys like Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, and Ichiro Suzuki. It is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Going to have the best, power hitting catcher season of all time. And again, if you look at his numbers since he's come to the big leagues, he is the best power hitting catcher, since he's come up in 2022, and, can hit 30 to 35 home runs, pretty easily. But now with the torpedo bat custom made from the left and the right, we might be able to see consistent 40 home run seasons out of Cal. And if we're lucky, maybe a few 50 and 60. And this year he's pacing for almost 70 homers. It's like 66 to 68 homers. So we'll see what he gets to, but the record is 48. And that's by Salvador Perez. He'll obliterate that number. He's already halfway there, and we're not even at the All-Star break. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away with the cutter. Behind in the count 0-2 to Garrett Crochet. 6-4 record, 2.24 ERA. And we know Big Dumper with that grand salami yesterday. already has a hit early in the matchup, and he grounds out to third, throw to first, 2 away. But 6 RBIs, which was a tie for his career high yesterday. Single-handedly won the game for us. And again, today going to be a little bit harder, but still can be productive as the DH. Next up is second baseman today, Jorge Polanco. First pitch, high and away with a cutter, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Crochet to Polo. Let's go, Polo. Bring that electricity, baby. We need you. And, yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to play before they end up having someone pinch hit for him in the 7th, 8th, or 9th, if at all, but I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to have, 2, 3, 4 hit type of day, but he might be able to get one. He's already 0 for 1. And again, he's a young player. He's only batting .225. He's playing a position that he normally doesn't play on a regular basis today in center field. They do move him around quite a bit, but I would assume if he plays the whole game, he's got a chance, to go 1 for 4 or 1 for 5. But, if he ends up getting a hit off Castillo and then we have a shitty bullpen guy, he could end up getting 2 hits, but, we'll see. Pitches inside and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 3rd on MLB Network, a global broadcast. Crochet on the mound and Jorge Polanco in the box. And it's a pitcher's duel with Crochet and Castillo, just like with Giolito and Gilbert in game number 1. Pitch right down the middle, fouled off with a cutter by Polo. Count still remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. 3-2 pitch, fouled off again in the zone. Count still remains 3 balls and 2 strikes from Garrett Crochet. Three-two pitch, fouled off again. 91 miles an hour with the cutter. Cutter, sinker, cutter. 3 consecutive foul balls. Polo grinding out this at-bat. And Polo strikes out swinging, and that is the end of the 3rd inning. I think a very good chance that Cal gets another hit, even though he's DHing today. He plays better, when he ends up being the catcher, but he can still, get 2, 3, 4 hits, as a DH individual. And again, there is a good chance he already has 1, but I don't know what the percentage was, what they would be, but I would say it's probably a very good chance that he gets at least a minimum of 1 more hit. But, I'm not sure if he can get 2 more, but we'll see if he ends up getting 1 more. Hopefully it'll be a homer. All right, let's see who's up here in the top of the 4th for the Boston Red Sox. Next up for the Red Sox, 0 for 1 in the 4-hole, DHing Romy Gonzalez. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI. Third baseman, solo dinger on Luis Castillo, 95 miles an hour right down the middle. Marcelo Mayer, that's what gave them the 1-0 lead. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop Trevor Story. So in the top of the 2nd, Marcelo Mayer hit a pitch right down the middle, 95 miles an hour by Luis Castillo, and he ended up taking it 379 feet, 1-0 Red Sox. And then in the bottom of the 2nd, Randy Arozarena was at third, and he had a wild pitch by Garrett Crochet, and Randy obviously ended up skipping home, and that's where we're at right now, tied at 1-1. Mariners with 4 hits, Red Sox with 2, no errors yet, and we're about halfway through the matchup, and we'll see what we get here in the top of the 4th. What's good, brother? How are the Reds doing lately? Yeah, I don't know if Cal will end up being the home run champion, but I mean, again, just being a catcher and putting up numbers, like a Johnny Bench or a Pudge Rodriguez, or even guys that flash like Buster Posey, even though he was undersized, or Mike Piazza. It's really cool to see that we have a modern day Johnny Bench, Pudge Rodriguez on the Mariners, and he's able to compete with the 2 guys that are going to be pretty much the two guys that are running MLB in Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, and Cal is right there with them. So, and he's obviously leading the pack, and there is a chance. Cal will obviously be starting for the American League. He'll be playing as the starting catcher in the World Baseball Classic. He has said in interviews that he would love to do the home run derby. He would have a chance to win it if he had a good pitcher, pitch to him. Would be exciting. And it's just awesome to be able to see, a catcher, not like a center fielder, being able to be up there with guys like Ohtani and Judge. It's quite amazing. 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking. 3 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Romy Gonzalez. Jacob in the building. What's good? 3-1 pitch in play and grounds out to first. 1 away. Down goes Romy. Next up, third baseman Marcelo Mayer. Solo jack in the second. And hopefully that'll be all he gets here today. And I know how excited you were, Jacob, to have the Guardians play the Mariners. Now, if you guys would have played us, a week prior to that, you guys probably would have swept us because we were not very good. But we got lucky, and again, you guys should have won game number 2, but Clase ended up having that epic meltdown. You guys should have won at least 1 game in that series, but we swept y'all, and hopefully you guys will be able to recover. Sounds like you got the win today, so that's a good sign, and you'll battle with the Twins and the Tigers, and hopefully you guys will be able to make a run at the playoffs. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Mayer. Yeah, Cal is. I mean, the number 1, catcher, again, he's only a couple behind before the All-Star break of Johnny Bench's numbers. He's only like a couple homers, but overall, the most homers out of any catcher, in MLB in a full season is only 48, and that's Salvador Perez on the Royals. So I know he's already going to obliterate that. Hell, he's already almost at 30, and we're not even at the All-Star break. So right now he's pacing for 66 to 70 homers. Now, it's not going to be realistic that Cal's going to get to 70. He might not even get to 60, but it seems fair to say that he will beat the record and he'll get a minimum of 50. But how high will he go? 50, 55, 60, 65? We don't really know, but it's definitely going to be a season for the ages, and I don't think it'll be the last time that we see Cal do this. I think this might be one of those regular things, and Cal may end up being the best catcher of all time when it's all said and done, especially if he can hit 40 to 60 homers every fucking year. I mean, it's something that we've never seen before, and again, if he keeps continuing to hit 49 or more, and he ends up breaking all the records where it's Cal Raleigh, Cal Raleigh, Cal Raleigh, Cal Raleigh, Salvador Perez at 48 homers, and everyone else, again, pretty cool to see. But we need others to step up as well. Marcelo Mayer with a 6-pitch walk at first. Next up is Trevor Story, 0 for 0 with a K. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle for a double play here to get out of the inning. First pitch from Castillo to Story, fouls it off high and inside, 0-1 count. There we go. We're at 22, 28 more to go. But again, I think this Julio, with the pressure of being Ken Griffey Jr. and getting that big deal as a rookie, again, he might be a popular player, but he's not an all-star. He isn't, and again, like, he's got name recognition and he's got good branding appeal where you can put him on a video game cover. You could make an Air Max Julio. People would buy it. Back, Story, gone. Wow. 2-run jack by Trevor Story, and that is the 7th homer that Luis Castillo has given up in 3 games. And again, he's given up, obviously around 2 a game the last few starts. And again, I was hoping that they would both be solo jacks, but that one ended up being a 2-run jack, and now we're down 3-1. And we're going to have to dig ourselves out of that hole. But now we have to pray that's it. He doesn't give up any more, because if he gives up any more runs, we're going to lose. So we have to make sure that we clamp down. Nice 2-run jack by Trevor Story. And again, I think Luis Castillo needs to realize pitching 95 down the middle is not pitching 100 down the middle. People are not intimidated by you. And again, normally he'll get some punch outs, but that was a great job by Story with the 2-run jack. Next up, second baseman David Hamilton. Daniel in the building, what's good? But 7 home runs given up in the last 3 games, including this one where he's given up a solo jack to Marcelo Mayer in the second, and now a 2-run jack to Hamilton. Come on, Louise. It's been a pretty common thing for our guys giving up a couple homers, and again, you just have to pray that they're only solo shots, because when they end up being 2-run dingers, 3-run jacks or grand salamis like Cal had yesterday, you're not coming back from that. It's just too much to come back from. But, at least we're only down 2 runs, so I still think that we can come back, but not ideal. And again, we're going to have to homer in this game if we're going to win. It's going to be impossible to win the game without at least 1 homer. Even if it ends up being a solo jack, 48% of our runs are homers. So you have to get at least 1, to be able to have those RBIs and back-to-back hits to, help you win later. But if it's just only hits, we're not going to win this game. We need to have that 1 homer. And hopefully it ends up being a 2-run jack or better, so that way we can match what Boston just gave to us by Trevor Story. Come on, Louise. Settle down, baby. You got to be better, Louise. Normally we don't bust out the Mariner Moose this early, but we're going to need to if we want to win the series. Top of the 4th inning, 3-1 Red Sox. Next up is center fielder Christian Campbell. Pitch is outside. Count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Christian Campbell. 3-2 pitch in play and grounded out to first, and that is out number 3 for the Boston Red Sox. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox getting the damage done. And hopefully we can match what Trevor Story just did with a 2-run jack to be able to take a 2-run lead. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 1 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0 for 1, catcher Mitch Garver. And batting third, 1 for 1, first baseman Donovan Solano. So we know that Randy can hit. Garver usually strikes out looking or swinging, so I don't know, maybe try to get, plunked or walked, and if not, bunt. I know you're slow as shit, but that gives you a better chance than you swinging. And then Donovan Solano actually has been able to get hits lately, and maybe Donovan can go 2 for 2. Try dance up, let's go M's. Let's go, baby. But always good to see Luke Raley, hit homers and be productive for the Tacoma Rainiers. And once we get him back, that should help us quite a bit. We definitely miss Luke Raley. Obviously, we miss Victor Robles more, but he's not going to be ready until September or October, or maybe not even at all. We might just have to wait till next season, based on if he ends up having any, mishaps, with the rehab process. But obviously, we're able to win without him, but think about how many more wins we would have if we had him. Even though JP has been great as a leadoff hitter, but to have Robles and JP and both raking at the same time could have been huge for us. So we probably would still be in first place if Robles was playing. But again, it's not something that we can, coulda, woulda, shoulda. At least he gave the effort, and, he sacrificed his body there in San Francisco early in the season, and hopefully he'll end up being back better than ever. First pitch fouled off by Randy Arozarena from Garrett Crochet. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch inside at the hips. 1 ball and 1 strike from Crochet to Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. Double at your first at bat. Let's see if you can get another one here. 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike swinging inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Red Sox. Crochet on the mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. And we still need to get a couple more runs. 1 to 3 runs is what we needed by the 5th inning if we had any chance. And hopefully our bullpen will be better than theirs. And as anyone knows, the game resets after Castillo and Crochet exit. And whoever's bullpen is better is going to win. So, hopefully we have an epic meltdown by at least one of their relief pitchers, and then we can start to catch up if we haven't caught up by that point already. 2-2 pitch right down the middle, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 Red Sox. They have 2 homers, solo dinger by Marcelo Mayer, and then a 2-run jack by Trevor Story in the top of the 4th inning, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up here. And Arozarena grounds out to third, throw to first, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-1 catcher Mitch Garver. And if there was ever a moment that we needed Mitch Garver to give us a solo dinger, it'd be right now. Again, you only have 1 home run on the year. You've regressed tremendously. We need something good out of Mitch Garver. Single, double, homer, something. First pitch, Garver. Oh my God, did he get a hit? Go, go, go. Yes, there we go. Garver with a hit. And again, sometimes you can have the shittiest lineup that you've had in 2 to 3 weeks, and even those shitty guys are getting hits. Garver's got one. Solo's got one. What about Dylan Moore? Will he be able to get one before he gets replaced by JP later in the matchup? I don't know, but let's see what Donovan Solano can do here. First pitch to Solano, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. But nice job by Mitch. I mean, a homer would have been great, but I'll take a single. That's much better than you striking out looking or swinging, and that's been kind of the regular thing for Garv. But the only person that's colder than Garv lately might be Dylan Moore, and don't really know why they decided to have him lead off, but we'll see if JP will come in at some point. We may need him. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle from Garrett Crochet. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Solano in the box, Crochet on the mound. And Solano, big swing and a miss, 2 away. Next up is third baseman Ben Williamson. Let's see if we can let the rally to keep going here. See if Ben can get a single or a double. Come on, Big Ben. Bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Red Sox. Runner at first, Mitch Garver. Williamson in the box, Crochet on the mound. And we know you can do it defensively. We need that bat to heat up, and he's actually started to heat up slightly, him and Cole Young, within the last few games. So hopefully that'll be a trend that will continue. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Red Sox up 3-1 early here in the bottom of the 4th. Come on, Big Ben. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off on the line. Still, count remains. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, Garver, and 2 outs. And we don't really expect Ben Williamson to be hitting a lot of homers. He only has 1 on the season, but he can get some singles and doubles, though. 257 average, 1 homer, 13 ribbies. Let's go, Big Ben. 0-2 pitch. High and away, cutter, 94 miles an hour, fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan. No balls and 2 strikes. Count remains the same with a runner at first and 2 outs. Red Sox with a 2-run lead, and here in the bottom of the 4th. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Come on, Big Ben. And in play, and Williamson flies out to left, and that is the end of the 4th inning. Next up for the Red Sox here in the top of the 5th, 1-for-1 in the 9-hole, catcher Connor Wong. Batting second, 0-for-2 with a K, left fielder Jarren Duran. And batting third, 0-for-2, first baseman Abraham Toro. Trident's up. Let's go M's. There we go. 30 likes, 20 more to go. And let's go over the pitching stats of the pitchers here, since we're about at the halfway point. All right, Garrett Crochet, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 5 Ks, 73 pitches, 52 strikes, 2.24 ERA. And then we go to Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 57 pitches, 37 strikes, ERA of 3.46. And really the difference is they've scored with 2 home runs, solo jack by Mayer, and a 2-run jack by Story, and the Mariners have no home runs. And the run came in, based off a wild pitch from Crochet, and Randy Arozarena scored from third. So, again, if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to hit at least a minimum of 1 homer, and that should give us the momentum to be able to get some RBIs, later in the matchup as well. But we're going to need at least 1 to, even up the score and get it to at least 3-2 if it's a solo jack. But hopefully it ends up being a 2-run jack or a 3-run jack to give us a little bit of an edge. Let's go to the top of the 5th, 3-1 Red Sox. But 7 home runs given up in 3 starts is not good, And again, hopefully that will change. But giving up 3, then giving up 2, and now giving up 2, and if you're giving up only solo jacks every time, then you can still win. But anytime you end up giving up more than that, depending on how the bats are treating the Mariners, it could be a little too much. First pitch, and grounds out, throw to first, and 1 away. A very quick at bat there for Connor Wong. That kind of reminded me of Julio. Next up, left fielder 0-for-2 Jarren Duran. First pitch, paints the corner. Should have been called strike, but called ball. Being a little generous with the strike zone today. Castillo on the mound, Duran in the box. Let's go, Luis. Bring that electricity. 1-0 pitch. Inside, should have been called strike, and that's called ball again. What the hell's going on here? Should be 0-2, but the count now is 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Jarren Duran. .20 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Duran. I appreciate that, JJ King. I feel I am one of the best, streamers that, does sports. And again, we have the #1 channel in Oregon. Next goal will be the #1 channel in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and Washington. And then the West Coast, Oregon, Washington, and California. Duran lines out to center, 2 away. Next up, 0-for-2, former Seattle Mariner, first baseman Abraham Toro. First pitch right down the middle, takes a strike looking with a slider, 83 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And we already know how NFL streamers are oversaturated, and obviously we know baseball, basketball, hockey, and NASCAR are niche markets. And again, it's not easy to do. You got to read a lot, watch film. You got to pay attention, to the entire league. Name pronunciation, enunciation, background, stats. There's a lot involved, but again, I appreciate the compliment. And again, I'm grinding, 7 days a week. So holidays included, even my birthday, Christmas and Thanksgiving, I'm still grinding. 0-2 pitch, low and away, slider, 83 miles an hour, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Abraham Toro. 1-2 pitch, popped up, and lined out to left, and that is the end of the top of the 5th inning for the Red Sox. All right, Mariners, here we go. This is the inning where if we can get the game to 3-2 or 3-3, this might be the inning that we do it before Crochet ends up exiting, momentarily. All right, let's see what we got here. Next up, 0 for 1, right fielder Miles Mastrobuoni. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Shortstop, Dylan Moore. If this was me right now, I would already substitute J.P. Crawford immediately. You're not going to get anything out of Dylan Moore. Unfortunately, you were hot early in the year, and you haven't done anything since. And again, last 24, 25, 26 at-bats, it's been mostly strikeouts. So if you really want to impress Mariner fans, do something. Batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. So it's crazy to think that Miles Mastrobuoni, as a part-time player who doesn't even start every day, is going to be, more reliable than Dylan Moore. That's a given. But even more reliable than Julio? I mean, come on, J-Rod. We can't have you be the weakest link out of these 3 guys besides Demo. And hopefully Miles will be able to get the party started. And then I don't know what we can really hope for in Dylan Moore and Julio. Maybe if we can get Dylan Moore to walk and maybe Julio gets plunked and then we can get them on base, or Dylan Moore gets walked and Julio gets a single and then we can continue the rally. But, we can't have Demo and Julio go out, and hopefully Miles can get the party started. Because if Miles gets out, it's probably going to be boom, 1, 2, 3, we get nothing. So I would really love to be able to get, to Cal Raleigh this inning, but we'll have to wait and see. Bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Red Sox. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends. And obviously, we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Gain to sub. It's always good to gain subs. 29 subs to go to 20,900. 129 as Mastrobuoni lines out to second on a 1-0 pitch. 1 away. This might be a 0 inning for us here. And 129 subs to get to 21,000, and that's the goal. Well, I wish Miles was a little bit more patient there in the box. 1 away. Next up, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, Dylan Moore. Come on, Dylan. You and Julio cannot be the weakest link on the team here. Garver and Solano already have fucking hits. Demo, Julio, do your job. But I want to shout out all of the individuals in play. First pitch. And there we go. Dylan Moore finally ending the slump, in the last 4 or 5 games with nothing. Finally ends up getting a single. Thank you so much. And again, Dylan has been absolutely fucking terrible, in the last 24, 25, 26 at-bats. Thank you. And now we can get Julio here, and maybe Julio can give us a little bit of magic. Could you only imagine if Julio hits a 2-run jack? If he does, we win. And, again, we tie this up this early. I feel that we can get it done, but I don't know if Julio has got this in him. I hope he does. But at this point, I think Mariner fans will take anything. A walk, plunk, a single, a double, a triple. But obviously a double, triple, or home run would be ideal. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, behind in the count, 0-2 from Crochet to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. If Dylan Moore can get a fucking hit, don't be the weakest link on the team. Come on, J-Rod. Don't try to be a hero. Every shot doesn't have to be a moonshot. Play within the game. Small ball, baby. Small ball. Let's go. Bring that electricity. Find that sweet spot on the bat and follow through. In play. And fielder's choice to the shortstop. Demo out at second. 2 away. Now, this is the worst lineup that we've had in 2 to 3 weeks, so not going to be an easy win for the Mariners. Not going to be an easy win for the Red Sox either. Now, once the bullpen comes in, it should be pretty interesting. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch, cutter, high and inside, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Yeah, and again, we're going to make moves at the deadline. We've made moves at the deadline every year for like the last 5 years. And again, right field, first base, and a couple, maybe relief pitchers would be good. But more importantly, we got Luke Raley coming back soon, and we got Tyler Locklear and Harry Ford that are on the Tacoma Rainiers that we could call up. So even if they only grab like 3 guys and they're all relief pitchers, that would be fine. We have other guys that can fill in to hit and play defense, but getting another bat would be nice. But again, the priority should be getting 2 or 3 relief pitchers, and so we can replace some of the shitty ones that we have. But we will be buyers for sure at the deadline. Hopefully we get about 4 or 5 guys, and that's kind of normal. 2 positional players and 2 or 3 relief pitchers. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Best catcher in baseball, baby. And we have 3,000 regular viewers on the channel. At one point, back in the day, we were getting about 1,000 to 1,500, so we've doubled that. And again, it's nice to be able to see the analytics and stats go up, obviously, with all the people watching all over the world. Bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Red Sox with a runner at first. Crochet on the mound, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, the best catcher in baseball, in the box. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And wild pitch, Julio Rodriguez goes from first to second. A couple wild pitches by Crochet. And we got 70% of the audience in the United States, 5.8 in Venezuela, 4.1 in Mexico, 2.3 in Dominican Republic, Philippines, Canada, Japan, Colombia, India, Panama, and many, many others. And down goes Cal Raleigh, and that is the end of the 5th inning, and we're down 3-1. Still, manageable. Once it goes above 3 runs and more, then it starts kind of, getting tough. But, sometimes when we're down 3-1, it feels like we're down 6-1, especially when we were in our slump for that month and a half. But really, all we need to do is get that first home run, right? Whether it's a solo jack or better, and then the RBIs will come. But I'm not sure who's the guy that's going to end up, doing that. But, we need someone to be able to step up at some point after the starting pitchers exit. All right, let's go to the top of the 6th. We're down by 2, still a winnable game. And it might have to be a game where it ends up being like 4-3 or 5-4 in extras. But we just have to find a way to tie, and hopefully we don't give up any more. Next up for the Red Sox, 0-for-1 right fielder Roman Anthony. Batting second, 0-for-3, DHing in the 4-hole, Romy Gonzalez. And batting third, 1-for-1 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball, third baseman Marcelo Mayer. So 0-for-1, 0-for-2, and 1-for-1 with the solo jack in the second to give him a 1-0 lead. Let's go, baby. 4 more likes to 40. Let's get there, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 or more before the stream ends. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Let's go. Come on, Mariner Moose. We need you, baby. Five innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 66 pitches, 43 strikes. And again, I know the pitch count is pretty low, but I would, prefer this would be the last inning for him. Because again, he's a little wild with the homers, giving up 7 in the last 3 games. If we keep him in to the 7th or 8th inning, he's going to give up another one, more than likely. And then if it ends up being 4-1 or 5-1, we're going to lose. We're not coming back. So hopefully this will be the last inning for him, and he'll be probably around 80 pitches in the pitch count. It would be a real risk, pitching him into the 7th, because again, the arm getting tired, and he's already giving up a lot of home runs lately. 2-0 pitch, high and away, 3 balls and no strikes to Roman Anthony. And I know sometimes our bullpen is a little shaky, but I would assume they would probably go with Carlos Vargas coming in first if we're down. But again, if it's the good Vargas, I don't have a problem. 3-1 pitch to Roman Anthony, and that is a walk. Next up, DHing Romy Gonzalez, and hopefully we can get a slow dribbler double play or possibly a strikeout or pop-up on Romy. But a lot of teams that are sitting, in second place or third place in the division that actually have a chance, to make the playoffs, like the Twins, the Guardians, the Mariners, all those teams should be buyers, at the deadline. We obviously know that the Yankees, Tigers, and Astros are the 3 best at the moment, but that doesn't mean that the Guardians, Twins, and Mariners can't get hot at some point, after the All-Star break. So, and, it all really depends on schedule as well. Some teams have an easier first half schedule than others. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss by Romy Gonzalez, behind in the count 0-2 to Luis Castillo. Romy Gonzalez in the box, and Luis Castillo on the mound. Come on, Luis. In play, and lined out to center. Julio is there, 1 away. Next up for the Red Sox, 1-for-1 with a solo dinger in the second, third baseman Marcelo Mayer. He's got to get Crochet out, and then hopefully we can hit a homer or two and get back into this game. But it really will come down to the bullpen. But at least the Mariners have proven that they can come back, by 1 to 4 runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And it's not going to be every time, but we are one of the better teams late in games in the last 3 innings. 1-0 pitch, fouls that one off low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Mayer. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Boston with a runner at first and 1 out. Red Sox with 2 homers today to give them the 3-1 lead. And the only thing the Mariners have, really up to this point, we haven't left a lot stranded. We had a wild pitch, and Randy scored from third, and that is how we got to 1. Otherwise, we'd be at 0 right now. And another thing, like I mentioned yesterday in the blowout, a lot of times when we end up having over 5 runs, for whatever reason, the next game we get nothing. And again, sometimes that has to do with the pitching on the other team. But a lot of times when we end up having that amazing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 run game, then the next game we get, 3 runs or less. And again, we have been averaging 1 to 3 lately, and we need to get that up to 4 to 5 runs. And when we were on our hot streak, when we won 9 consecutive series in a row, we were averaging 6 runs a game. So obviously we know we're not on that level anymore, but 1 to 3 ain't going to cut it. You got to get to that 4 to 5 run number. 2-2 pitch, high and away, misses the plate by about 5 feet. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Mayer. And Mayer strikes out swinging on the 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss on that changeup. See ya. Nice electricity and velocity there by Luis Castillo. 2 away. Next up, shortstop, Trevor Story. 2-run jack. He is the hero so far in the game with Marcelo Mayer. And hopefully Story does not homer again. If he does, we lose. Simple as that. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Red Sox. Runner at first, Trevor Story in the box. Castillo on the mound. Come on, Luis, finish strong. And I feel like our bullpen has kind of turned a corner a little bit too, where they were fucking terrible for a month and a half, but once we swept the Guardians, they started to get a little bit better. So, even if it's Trent Thornton or Vargas or Snyder or Legomina, I feel semi-confident that they can get the job done. And obviously you got guys like Brash, Spire at Bizzardo. That might be Pop. That might be a little bit more reliable. Pop is new, so we don't really know about him just yet, but we'll see where it goes. First pitch, high and inside. 1-0 count to Trevor Story. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Luis Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike to Trevor Story. Got to get Trevor out here. And also you got to remember, anytime that we end up having a pitcher that doesn't have Cal catching, we're at a disadvantage. Think about it. Would you rather have Cal, the best catcher in the game, offensively and defensively, call a game, or Mitch Garver? And again, the drop-off, based off strategy and what pitches to throw is night and day. You're going from the best catcher in baseball to a guy that shouldn't even be on the Mariners. Harry Ford in AAA would be better than Garver. So, again, we have to pray that Garver doesn't, have any wild pitches that he lets go by him. And that might be the only reason why Garver is still on the team, is that he can actually catch, from some of the guys that are on the mound, even though his offensive skill set is garbage. But again, I still think Harry Ford could catch, even though he'd be fresh off of AAA. I think he would do a better job, not only in the box, but defensively. But hopefully Garver can do enough where he doesn't fuck up the game for us here. Top of the 6th, runner at first with 2 outs, 3-1 Red Sox lead. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Trevor Story. John in the building, what's good? 2 more likes to 40. Let's get there. We're trying to get to 50 before the stream ends. Trevor Story in the box. Castillo on the mound. And Roman Anthony just stole second there cleanly. Story in the box. Luis Castillo on the mound. In play and grounded out to the shortstop, throw to first, got him. There we go. Nice little play by Dylan Moore to Donovan Solano. And now let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Take a look at Garrett Crochet's numbers to see when he might exit. Obviously has pitched well. Mariners have 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. They have 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Mayer homered to right in the top of the 2nd, 1-0 Boston. Arozarena scored on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 2nd, 1-1. And then Trevor Story in the top of the 4th, 2-run jack with Mayer on board to give him a 3-1 lead. And then with Crochet, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 Ks, 84 pitches, 60 strikes, 2.22 ERA. So technically they could have Crochet come out for another inning. Hopefully, for the Mariners' sake, he doesn't, and we can have somebody new come in, like a shitty right-handed pitcher from the pen, and then we can get back into this game. But if Crochet comes out for another inning, then we're only going to have 2 innings to try to win the game rather than 3. So we'll see what happens here. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a double and a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 1 for 2, catcher Mitch Garver. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Let's see if we can tie this game up. We need a minimum of 1 home run before the game ends if we have any chance in this game. I mean, unless we can get back-to-back-to-back hits, and have a good RBI situation. But, we could still win this 4-3 or 5-4. But, again, we'll see what happens based on the pitching staff. That'll really determine what happens. And they're going to have Crochet come out there again, which is a smart move since he's only had 84 pitches. But you would assume that this will be the last inning that we see Crochet. And then we should have 3 innings to go after that, the 7th, 8th, and the 9th. First pitch from Garrett Crochet to Jorge Polanco. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees to Jorge Polanco. 1 ball and 1 strike to Polo. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Red Sox lead. Let's go, Polo. I mean, you don't really hit home runs anymore, but someone has got to be the guy to get us that solo dinger to get it to 3-2. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Crochet to Polo. Let's go, Polo. .256 average, 11 homers and 36 ribbies, but he had 9 homers with a .384 average in April, and he's only hit 2 home runs since then. You know, we're fucking in mid-June now, so something's got to give. But what I will say about Polo is that he actually has been able to get some singles, doubles, and key RBIs when we needed them, as he fouls one off and fouls it off himself, and now he's limping. Hopefully he's okay. Flying Monk in the building. I owe you some photos from yesterday. As soon as the broadcast ended, I checked all of my social media and my apps and noticed that you dropped a $10 dono yesterday, so I appreciate you. So a quick recap. Mayer homered to right, and Castillo has given up 7 homers in the last 3 games. He gave up 2. Coming into the game, he gave up 5 in the last 2 games, so that was a little nerve-wracking. But Mayer homered to right, made it 1-0 in the top of the second. Then Randy scored on a wild pitch by Garrett Crochet, and it was 1-1. Then in the top of the 4th, with Mayer on board, Trevor Story homered to left center, and that was 402 feet, and that's where we're sitting right now, 3-1. 48% of the Mariner runs are home runs, but unfortunately we don't have a home run yet, and we don't really have a lot of guys that we've left stranded either. We haven't been able to really hit Crochet like we did in Boston when we beat him and had him exit in the 5th, and we won that like 4-3. So Crochet a little bit more dominant here, but once he exits, I feel that we can come back as long as they have a shitty guy in the pen that we can take advantage of. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. But if there's anything that you want to see photo-wise, let me know, and thank you so much for your support. In play, and Randy Arozarena lines out to left, 2 away. But everyone's got a hit in the lineup except for Julio and Polo and Mastroboni. Unacceptable. I mean, even guys like Garver and Demo and Solano, who aren't really the most reliable, have stepped up. So, again, we need the guys that we normally rely on to get the job done. And it can't be Cal Raleigh every game. You know, again, you can't rely on him every game, even though he does come up big most of the time. But in a 162-game season, it's unrealistic to think Cal's going to be the hero every fucking game. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle by Mitch Garver. Behind in the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs. 3-1 Red Sox lead, and let's just pray that this is Crochet's last fucking inning, and we can get back into this. 0-2 pitch, fouled off with the 4-seam fastball, high and inside, tries to jam the hitter up. Garver, and does. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 3-1 Red Sox lead. I still think that we have a chance, but we'll see where it goes. .02 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Mitch Garver. Just like typically Julio Rodriguez and Dylan Moore, how they would go down. End of the 6th inning, 3-1 Red Sox. Now I got to look at the pitch count to hope that Crochet don't come back. What is he at? All right, final numbers for Crochet. He won't be back, thank God. All right, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 8 Ks, solid day, 96 pitches, 70 strikes, 2.20 ERA. And again, now, you know, we should have a chance after Crochet is out that we can get the job done. And it'll be a sprint in these last 3 innings to get 2 runs. And hopefully we can win 4-3 in the 9th or 4-3 in the 10th, 11th, or 12th inning. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, second baseman in the 7-hole, David Hamilton. Batting second, 0 for 2. with a K, center fielder Christian Campbell. And batting third, 1 for 2, catcher Connor Wong. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got you, my guy. Is this a store that you regularly visit? Oh. See if I can throw in one more for you. Appreciate you. If you're a connoisseur of wine, that's where to go. Appreciate you, my guy. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train here today. Trying to approach 50 likes as well. Carlos Vargas entering the game. I predicted that he would be the guy coming in, and I was right. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count from Vargas to Hamilton. 1-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Vargas to Hamilton. Let's go, baby. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Red Sox. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Hamilton. And as long as this is the good Carlos Vargas, we should be hopefully okay, but we will see. Pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Hamilton. Come on, Carlos. And we want to make sure that we don't have a pitcher coming in that's worse than Luis Castillo. Hard to be worse than giving up 2 home runs, but we've seen our bullpen really choke. Maybe not within the last few games and in the Guardian series, but for about a month and a half, it was really shaky for everyone not named Matt Brash. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Red Sox. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Hamilton. And we hit 40. We need 10 more likes to hit the goal before the stream ends. Let's go, baby. 2-2 pitch in play. And fouled out to left. There we go. Williamson is there. 1 away. Next up is center fielder Christian Campbell. 0 for 2 with a K. First pitch to Campbell. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. Come on, Marinamoose. We need you. We got 6 hits today. They only have 3. When we lost in game number 1, 2-0, it was only 4 hits apiece. It was a pitcher's duel with Giolito and Logan Gilbert, and not really as much of a pitcher's duel in this one. But again, the bats haven't really been able to come to life just yet, but they may here in the last 3 innings. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Vargas to Campbell. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Red Sox lead. Come on, baby. We need a comeback. There we go. Campbell struck out swinging. Nice electricity there by Carlos Vargas. 2 away. Down goes Campbell. Next up, catcher in the 9-hole, Connor Wong. 1 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. 6 more likes to 50. Let's get there, baby. And we're only down 2. So again, if this was when we were in our slump, it would feel like we were down 6-1, but it still feels like we're only down 3-1. We just need that home run to, get us off the schneid. And then that will lead to some RBI opportunities unless we get the RBIs first and then the home run comes afterwards. But we need to figure it out. We're running out of time. First pitch is low and away with the sinker. 95 miles an hour plus by Carlos Vargas, 1-0 count.
Pizza Hut is about to hook you up with more of what you love. Because when you order any pizza, we'll hook
and
you
down
up with
goes Wong. There we go.
That's a pizza now and a free pizza later.
Go to the top of the 8th inning. 3-1 Red Sox.
No one outpizzas the Hut.
Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a K, first baseman Donovan Solano. Batting second, 1 for 2, third baseman Ben Williamson. And batting third, 0 for 2, right fielder Miles Mastrobuoni. Tried heads up. Let's go M's. Let's find a way. We're getting close. 44 likes to get to 50, but we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. It will make a difference. First pitch to Donovan Solano, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Oh, nice. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Whitlock to Solano. Behind in the count, 0-2. 1-2 pitch. Low and away, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Whitlock to Solano. And Garrett Whitlock, 26 games, 5-0 record. It's going to be tough. And Cidian Rafaela coming in for Campbell in center field defensively. And Solano on the 2-2 pitch, strikes out swinging. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman, 1 for 2, Ben Williamson. First pitch from Whitlock to Williamson, high and away with a sweeper, 82 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Come on, Big Ben. 1-0 pitch in play. And grounds out to second, throw to first. 2 away. Next up is right fielder 0 for 2, Miles Mastroboni. And we're very good with 2 outs, but we need someone to get the party started. And I'm not sure if that's going to be Miles, but if Miles can get on base, maybe we could get something. Otherwise, we're only going to have 2 innings after this to be able to come back. And that's the problem when you have 48% of your total runs scored that are homers. And when you don't have any homers in the game, it makes it tough to come back. But I still have faith that we can get 1. We might not be able to get more than 1 homer today, but hopefully we make it count whenever we get it. First pitch to Mastroboni. Takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count. Come on, Miles. Oh, 1 pitch in play, grounds out to third, throw to first, and that is the end of the 7th inning. All right, Mariners, we're running out of time. Go to the top of the 8th, 3-1 Red Sox lead. Next up for the Red Sox, 0 for 3 with the K, left fielder Jarren Duran. Batting second, 0 for 3, first baseman Abraham Toro. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, right fielder Roman Anthony. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Red Sox. Gained another sub. 28 to go to 20,900, 128 to get to 21,000. Let's go. We had Carlos Vargas come in and do a pretty good job, and now they're bringing in Gabe Spire. Hopefully Gabe doesn't fuck it up here. First pitch to Jarren Duran, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jarren Duran. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Red Sox lead. Spire on the mound, our crafty lefty, and Jarren Duran in the box. One pitch in play, and Duran lines out to first. 1 away. Next up, 0 for 3, first baseman, the former Mariner, Abraham Toro. First pitch, low and away. Big swing and a miss there by Abraham Toro, 0-1 count. 30 games, 2-0 record, 2.42 ERA, 39 Ks to 6 walks. But there has been some, key wild pitches, RBIs and home runs given up, where Gabe might be our second best guy in the pen to Matt Brash, but he's been a little shaky lately. So hopefully he'll be able to get us out of this inning unscathed. 0-1 pitch in play and flied out to right. Toro, 2 away. So far, so good for Gabe Spire. I like it. Next up is right fielder, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, Roman Anthony. Let's go, Gabe. One more out. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle to Roman Anthony, 0-1 count. 3-1 Boston lead here in the top of the 8th. Mariners running out of time, and we're going to need a little bit of a miracle here late in the matchup. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking right down the middle by Gabe Spire, behind in the count 0-2 to Roman Anthony. Come on, Gabe, keep wheeling and dealing. Bring that electricity. Don't give up the big play. We get down by more than 2, it's already going to be game over. It might already be game over right now, being down 2, especially with no home runs hit by the Mariner players today. But, we have to keep it within 2. Anything above that, we're not going to more than likely come back from. 0-2 pitch, high and inside, fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Boston hanging on to a 2-run lead. 3-1 Red Sox. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 5 feet off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Anthony. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 4 feet off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Anthony. Come on, Gabe. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train, which is a little odd since we're in the 8th inning, but better late than never. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Spire on the mound, Roman Anthony in the box. We're going to have the day off tomorrow, and then we'll be live for probably 13 days straight after that, with games starting with the road trip with the Cubs. And down he goes. There we go. Good solid outing there by Gabe Spire. And we go now to the bottom of the 8th. We have 2 innings left to try to tie this up or take the lead. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with 2 Ks, shortstop Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K. Something's got to give. Come on, Julio. We can't win when you play bad. Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, DHing big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Mariners. Trident's up. 4 more likes. Now we only need 3. 3 more likes to get to 50. We're at 47. And we'll be the first person to show love on the channel to get us off the schneid. Dylan Moore, Julio Rodriguez, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Something's got to give. And hopefully we can get that homer to come either here or possibly here. Let's go. I mean, most surprising would be probably Dylan Moore, but, you know. First pitch to Dylan Moore by Aroldis Chapman. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Demo behind in the count already, 0-2 to Aroldis Chapman. 0-2 pitch, fouled off high and away. No balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 8th and no outs. Dylan Moore on the box, Julio Rodriguez on deck. Oh, 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Chapman to Moore. Pitch fouled off right down the middle with that sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Chapman to Demo. 3-1 Red Sox, bottom of the 8th with no outs. Mariners running out of time. Pitch fouled off with the sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Chapman to Demo. 236 average. He's got 8 homers, but all of those were at the beginning of the year. He hasn't hit one in a long, long time. This would be a great time for him to do it, but I don't know what the chances and percentages are of him to do it here. Probably have a better chance with like Julio or Cal, but Chapman is going to be tough. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Chapman to Dylan Moore. Come on, Demo. In play. And grounded out to third. Throw to first. 1 away. Nice job by Chapman. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3, Julio Rodriguez. First pitch, fouls it off. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Aroldis Chapman, 0-1 count. Come on, J-Rod. Wake up. You're too good of a player to be going 0 for 4. Let's go. Trident's up. Oh, 1 pitch, low and at the knees with a splitter by Chapman, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. One pitch, big swing and a miss with that slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod, wake up. Bring that electricity. You're too good to being in this kind of slump. You know, you weren't very good in March and April. You were great in May, and you haven't really been that good in June. You got to pick it up. Let's go. 1-2 pitch, high and away with that sinker, 100 miles an hour by Chapman. He can still throw the heat. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Mariners desperate, down by 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. And big swing and a miss on a 2-2 pitch. Julio going 0 for 4. Unacceptable, my guy. We can't win games when you go 0 for 4. Come on, Julio. Next up, big dumper, the best catcher in baseball, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. You know, even if he ends up getting a solo jack right here to get it to 3-2, it'll give us a much better chance to get that 1 run in the 9th instead of trying to get 2. Let's go, Cal. Trident's up. But it's a big ask, you know, to be able to have Cal try to win the game or tie the game up every fucking game of the year. You know, he ended up having a grand salami yesterday and accounted for 6 RBIs, you know, which tied his career high. That's not going to happen every day. We got Brash and Bizzardo in the pen. And first pitch, Cal grounds out to third, throw to first, and got him. All right, Mariners down to 1 last inning. It kind of feels like it's going to be 3-1 Boston for a final unless some kind of miracle happens. And again, we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Better late than never. We're down to the 9th inning. And again, we never want to be at a 0 on any stream that we do. So hopefully we get at least one person to show love for my hard work that I put in every single day, including birthdays and holidays. Let's go. I got to be able to take care of a pup. And I just need the basics to be able to continue doing this full time. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th inning and see who's up next here for the Red Sox. Next up for Boston, 0 for 3 in the 4-hole spot, DHing Romy Gonzalez. Batting second, 1 for 2 with 2 runs, RBI, and a base on ball, Marcelo Mayer. And batting third, shortstop, Trevor Story. And it looks like they're bringing in Bizzardo over Brash right now. All right, Bizzardo, get it done. If they're going to go with you over Brash, see if that's the right decision or not. 3 likes to 50. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help us get to the goal. 28 subs away from 20,900. 128 from 21,000. Every like matters. Every sub matters. Every dono matters. Every share matters. And now we have to pray that we can get some kind of rally here, but it's going to be tough. Especially if it ends up being Polo, Randy, and Garver. If those are the 3 guys that we're going to have up and they don't have anybody pinch hit. Polo 0 for 3, Randy 1 for 3, Garver 1 for 3, but it's not looking good. First pitch from Bizzardo to Gonzalez. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Bizzardo to Gonzalez, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Romy Gonzalez. 1-1 pitch, high and away, 2 balls and 1 strike to Romy Gonzalez. Top of the 9th, 3-1 Boston with nobody on and no outs. And again, it's been, not really one of those days where we've left a bunch stranded. We got 1 run, 6 hits. They have 3 runs and 3 hits. But really the difference is they have 2 home runs and we have none. And that's the difference in the game. Solo jack by Marcelo Mayer. 2-run jack by Trevor Story. And the only reason that we have 1 is because of a wild pitch by Crochet, and Randy walked in from third to home. So we haven't even really gotten a true RBI or home run in this game yet. So 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Romy Gonzalez. 2-2 pitch, and grounds out to second, throw to first. 1 away. Next up, third baseman, 1 for 2 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball, Marcelo Mayer. First pitch to Mayer from Bizzardo. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, low and away with that slider. 82 miles an hour by Bizzardo. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Mayer. One pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Mayer. Top of the 9th, 3-1 Boston lead. Nobody on and 1 out. And hopefully we can have some kind of miracle in the bottom of the 9th, but it's going to take a lot. And that's what happens with the Mariners sometimes when they end up scoring more than 5 runs in the previous game. They usually don't get a whole lot after. In play, and Mayer flies out to left to Randy Arozarena, 2 away. Next up, shortstop, 1 for 3 with a 2-run jack and a K, Trevor Story. Monkey, appreciate you. Thank you so much. I was waiting for someone to show some love here today. Thank you so much for your love and support. You know, we never want to be at a 0 on anything. You know, at the bare minimum, you want to be at least at like 1 to 10. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. And hopefully for this generous $50 dono, we can have a great bottom of the 9th and we can tie it up 3-3 and win 4-3 and 10 or 11. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Nice to know that people appreciate my hard work and all the dedication that I put into this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're at 50 to go. Thank you, Monkey Kung Fu. Appreciate you very, very much. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Story. Yeah, and again, you know, we had a game against the Guardians, right, where we were down 3-2, and then Clase had an epic meltdown, and then we ended up scoring 2 runs, right? Polo was a part of that, and then we ended up winning 4-3. Could we end up seeing something similar, you know, where we have an epic meltdown where they give up 1, 2, or 3? You know, I'm not sure if they would be able to give up 3 and we would win 4-3 in the 9th. I think the best case scenario for us would be, you know, they have an epic meltdown and then we end up getting 2 runs, we tie, right? And then we go into extras and then we win there, you know, but hopefully we can find a way. Now, if we were able to get 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, you know, awesome. That would be the best case scenario. But since we haven't even hit a home run or gotten an RBI, you know, in the game yet, you know, that might be a big ask, but appreciate you, Monkey Kung Fu. If there's anything photo-wise you want to see, let me know. And now we're going to the bottom of the 9th with a last chance effort to be able to see if we can come back. And I still believe that until the game is over, it's not over completely, you know. And again, it's not like we haven't come back from this scenario in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, down 1 to 4 runs. You know, we have come back. And again, it's not ideal to be down in this situation, but, you know, we dug ourselves in this hole by Castillo, you know, giving up 7 homers in the last 3 games, 2 today. It would have been much better if they were both solo jacks. So we were only down 2-1 right now, but one of them was a 2-run jack by Story. And now we're down by 2, and hopefully we can find a way. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena, and batting third, 1 for 3, catcher Mitch Garver. And they're bringing in Weissert to relieve Chapman, and hopefully Weissert will have an epic meltdown and we can come back here. Anna in the building, what's good? Let's go. We need this comeback. Monkey Kung Fu coming in the clutch. All right, Mariners, it's your turn. Sports gods, they love us. And again, Polo has been a part of a lot of our epic comebacks. And even though I don't know if I would want him leading off, maybe this is what we need. Maybe Polo will get a solo jack to make it 3-2. Maybe he gets plunked. Maybe he gets walked. Maybe he gets a single or a double. You know, but again, if we can get a double with the first guy, you know, that'll give us a good chance to more than likely, you know, not only get 1, but maybe have a good chance to get 2 if we have a double with the first batter with no outs. But again, everyone's got to step up. We need that Mariner mojo. Unless the pitcher has an epic meltdown and walks the first two guys or plunks, a guy and walks a couple, as long as we get guys on base, no matter what way we have it. First pitch, low and away to Jorge Polanco, 1-0 count. Weissert on the mound, Polo in the box. 1-0 pitch, fouled off by Jorge Polanco. 1 ball and 1 strike in the bottom of the ninth. Mariners down by 2. We need 3 to win, 2 to tie. And again, if we were to get the 2 runs, it feels like it would be, maybe enough to tie, and then we win in extras 4-3. But again, that's a big if. We could always lose 3-1, but we have to have faith as Mariner fans that we can dig this one out with an epic meltdown by Weissert. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Weissert to Polo. So there's no reason on overly aggressively swinging. Let the game come to you. And if Weissert's out of control, let him be out of control and walk a couple guys. That could be the difference between us winning or not in this particular matchup. Randy Arozarena on deck. Come on, baby. Bring that electricity. In play on the 2-1 pitch. Grounds out to second. Throw to first. Damn it. 1 away. All right, we're down to our last 2 outs. All right, Randy, I don't know what you got in that magic hat of yours, but we need something. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Can we get a double out of Randy to get us a runner in scoring position, or a single, and then you steal a bag to get to second? Come on, Randy. First pitch, right down the middle, fouls it off. 0-1 count. Weissert mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. Come on, Randy. Ooh, Ricky Henderson, that's a good one. The Moose is around. Moose has been around since the 3rd inning. I put him out early, when we got down with the homers. 1-0 pitch, low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Weissert to Randy Arozarena. 1-1 pitch, inside at the hips. 2 balls and 1 strike to Arozarena. Come on, Randy. We really need a single, double, triple, or home run. Let's go. Bring that electricity. We're running out of time here. 2-1 pitch, high and away. Ooh, this is promising. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out, and take the fucking walk if it's there. Don't get greedy like Julio, trying to fucking go for a moonshot every single at-bat. Be patient. Let the game come to you. Come on, Randy. Take the walk. And there it is. There it is. Nice job, Randy. We have life. We have a life, baby. All right, next up is Mitch Garver. And it feels like, it's been ages since he did this. Homer, right? Could he end up getting a 2-run jack? He only has 1 home run on the year. If there was ever a time that we needed Mitch Garver to step up, it would be now, but they're not even going to let him. They're going to go for the better player, a guy that can make it happen, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. Dom can get a 2-run homer. We've seen him be electric before. Let's go, Dom. And I like Dom's chances of getting a homer or an RBI rather than Garver in this situation. Come on, Dom. Pull the rabbit out of the hat, baby. Let's go. Bottom of the 9th, runner at first with 1 out, and we legitimately got a chance with Dominic Canzone. He can do it. Come on, Dom. Let's go. Come on, Dom. First pitch from Weissert to Canzone. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour by Weissert. 0-1 count. Come on, Mariners. Grind out this last opportunity that you have. And I think if we do tie the game up 3-3, we can win. We can feed off that momentum in 10, 11, or 12 and win the game 4-3. But we got to be able to tie it up first. Now they have a mound visit. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. What was Dom doing there? That's like 4 feet off the plate. Why are you swinging at that, Dom? That's like a Julio swing. Holy hell. Behind in the count 0-2. A very uncharacteristic, wild swing way off the plate by Dom. What are you doing? And that's rare. That might be one of the first times in 20, 30 at-bats for Dom that I've seen him do something like that. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Don't waste this opportunity. 241 average, 1 homer, 4 ribbies since he's been called up. And again, it was very productive for the Tacoma Rainiers, our AAA affiliate. And in play, and down goes Dominic Canzone with the double play. Randy out at second, throw to first, and that is the ball game. Brutal. Let me get some Ricky Henderson up here for Monkey Kung Fu. I was really hoping that we were able to at least get it to go to extras. And if we lost 4-3 in 10, 11, or 12, at least we battled. But again, you got to give the Red Sox credit. We beat them in Boston 2 games out of 3. Now Boston comes into Seattle and wins 2 out of 3, and they win the series, sweeping the Yankees prior to playing us, and they continue to stay hot even after the Devers trade. We got the day off tomorrow, and again, we'll be live on Friday going against the Cubs on the road, which will not be easy. Pete Crow Armstrong is insanely good. But end the game on a double play, not ideal. Garrett Crochet outpitched Luis Castillo. We didn't have any RBIs. We didn't have any home runs. Hell, we could have used Ricky Henderson today, and again, not having JP in the lineup definitely hurt us. It's like, again, you want to have guys to have days off, but this wasn't the day to have JP off if we were going to have a chance to win. JP plays, maybe we win, but we'll never know. Rest in peace, Ricky. When I was a kid, obviously he was battling it out there on the Oakland Athletics with Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire and Carney Langsford and Walt Weiss and Dave Stewart and Dennis Eckersley, Ozzie Canseco. I mean, I can name drop for days, baby. Oh, Ricky. I know, appreciate you. Congratulations on your new status on being a mod. And again, hopefully we'll be able to come back, obviously on, and again, the Cubs are a good team. So it's not like we're going to play down to the competition. They're going to bring out the best in us. And again, we may not win the series, but again, I know that we're going to play our best baseball at Wrigley Field. And again, I love going to Chicago, and I love when Chicago comes to Seattle. They're just, a really cool team with great history, awesome uniforms, and an awesome fan base. So we'll see how that all plays out. But we have the day off tomorrow, and then again, we'll be live like 12 or 13 days in a row after tomorrow. So make sure you guys spend some time with your friends, family, and your pets. And again, hopefully we'll be able to bounce back and get off to a good foot, after losing this series to the Red Sox. Old school Ricky. I like these Fleer Tradition old school cards here. I got another one. But I appreciate Monkey Kung Fu for stepping up when others did not and got us to a good number before the stream ended. One more I'll pull up here. Appreciate you, Monkey Kung Fu. There is a legend. There is an OG, Ricky Henderson, playing on the Athletics, the Yankees, the Mariners, and many other teams. Rest in peace in baseball heaven. And again, hard to win games against anybody when you don't get any RBIs or home runs. And you got to give, tip a cap to the Boston Red Sox. They got it done. Final score, Boston Red Sox 3, Seattle Mariners 1. And again, we got the day off tomorrow. Again, everyone rest up, and then we'll be back live on Friday on the road against the Chicago Cubs. It's not going to be easy, but again, I wouldn't want it any other way. I know it's going to bring out the best in us. And shout out to Monkey Kung Fu. Appreciate you so much. It means everything for people to support in that type of nature. And congratulations to All Day on his new mod status as well. You guys take it easy. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. I'm going to spend a lot of time with the pup and the family, and we're going to come out and kick ass and take names when we go to Chicago. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Shout out to Monkey Kung Fu, All Day, and Captain for all their support. And I am out. Try dance up. Go Mariners.